Hey guys, alright, it's Brett from IBMA. How's it going? And in case you don't know, I run a channel here on YouTube. I've been here for quite a while, focusing mainly on old style, traditional martial arts, conditioning, training, and those sorts of things. Thanks a lot to the guys who follow me on patreon.com/IBMA and been supporting the channel. That's awesome. Thank you very much, and we'll keep that going. I wanted to talk to you guys today about a topic, because every now and then I do topic videos in between my training and stuff. And today's topic is like a mindset. So, and a lot of times in martial arts training and in sports and fitness and toughness, whatever, a mindset is very important. So today is almost the mindset of training to beat a tougher opponent. Yeah. Now, if you guys know me, you'll know that I don't really believe in egotisticalness in martial arts. I think that ego is the death of a good martial artist. Now I know, like for instance, and that's a separate topic, but I know that for instance in like sport fighting, you have to have an ego or portray an ego as part of a psyche to fight. So that's fine. And if people want to portray themselves as that, that's fine. It's part of what they do. But in real terms of the martial artist, when you boil it down, I believe that even those people who portray this egotistical front, when boiled down, they are usually the successful ones anyway are usually humble people within the martial arts. They're not egotistical. Yeah. But that's a little side bit. But where I'm coming from with this, why I mentioned the ego, is that a lot of people fight or train with the idea that they are the toughest. Like, I'm the toughest, I'm unbeatable. Yeah, and I'm asking you guys, or I'm asking you to think about the idea of training to beat a tougher opponent. Yeah. So, for instance, what I mean is, like, a lot of people here and me and lots of you guys, we train our martial arts, and then we see like Randy Couture on TV, one of the UFC guys, or we see Burkow, if I'm saying his name correctly, that awesome Muay Thai fighter, who's just deadly and awesome and just what a fighter, and you see them and you automatically go, oh shit, man, that guy would just smash me up. Yeah. And what I'm asking you guys to do just as a mental exercise and a mindset is be like, look, if you're a martial artist and you're training, especially if you're in a job where you may face people tougher than you, or actually even in real life you might face people tougher than you for self-defense reasons. How can we train to beat someone tougher than us? So this is part of recognizing and analyzing our own weaknesses and boiling away the ego. Yeah, we have to boil that ego away because it's easy to ego shield. Yeah, you put up that ego shield and you're just like, you've got a weakness or you're not so good with the left hand, and then you're just like, nah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and this is also part of being an all-round fighter. Yeah, and an all-round martial artist, is that we have to look in on ourselves. So like when I'm training and when I'm out there doing my job or whatever, I often come across people who in different ways are tougher than me. I work with people who in other aspects are tougher than me. I work with people or see people or come across people who I think, shit, man, that guy's tough. Do you know what I mean? Or that guy's big, or that guy's muscly, or that guy looks huge, or that guy this, or that guy's deadly, or that guy's really good at BJJ. So do you guys get where I'm coming from? Yeah? You have to formulate a strategy that if you face one of those people, you have a chance of winning. Now, how do I do this? You may ask. Look, how do I beat someone tougher than me? Well, one, you got to toughen up yourself. Yeah, you've got to get as tough as you can. Yeah? You've got to get your cardiovascular system tough, so that if someone's big and strong, maybe you can outlast them. Yeah, maybe they gas out and you can win. You can be tougher than a tougher person with skill. Look at Royce Gracie. Yeah, when Royce Gracie first went into the UFC, he was fighting people who you and I and everyone would say those people are tougher than him. Yeah, in the broad sense of the term. But were they really tougher than him because he beat them? Yeah, he beat them. And he beat them using skill. So there's another way. Everyone in life has an inherent level of toughness. It's like Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer or something. You've got a toughness value. You can increase it. You can increase it a little bit, but sometimes in life, you face like a big Tongan guy. Like I work with this guy who's just a huge Tongan. He's got huge bones, and he's a rugby player, and he's just an all-out legend. Really nice guy, but inherently in life, he was tough from day one. Yeah, he was tough when he came out of the womb, that guy. And my lifetime of training got me to a point where I at least got respect from this guy. So he was tough. Then he was a rugby player, which made him tougher, because of the nature of the sport. But I was happy to be at a point where I'm a smaller guy and I'm whatever, and this guy would respect me for my level of toughness. But that's a tangent. But what I'm trying to say is skill. And that's where martial arts comes in, and that's where training comes in, and that's where practice comes in. So someone can be inherently by value tougher than you, yeah? And in an all-out brawl, they might smash you up, but that doesn't mean you can't win, yeah? Just look at the stuff in UFC where you see huge muscle-boxed, kickboxing fighters who are used to conditioning and used to slamming on, and they fight someone who's really good at grappling. So skill can win. And skill can have an effect over toughness, and then that bumps your overall rating up. So you've got to think. So if you're a karate practitioner and you're really good at your striking or kyokushin or Muay Thai, you've got to think, okay, I'm tough. But if I fought Burkow, sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, apologize. If I fought Burkow, could I win? Could I beat him as a Muay Thai person? Probably most people, unfortunately, the answer would be no. Yeah, if we had to honestly ask ourselves, because he's just one tough, freaking awesome guy. So then you got to start thinking, well, could I beat him in another way? Can I train my skill to a point where I might be able to? And I'm not talking specifically about Burka. I'm just using him as an example. So, like pick the biggest, baddest person you can think of, and then think, could I beat them? Am I tougher than them? Where can I fill in the gaps? Because ultimately in life, in real life, you will and you may face big, bad, tough people. And that might be part of your self-defense. You might be a woman doing like woman's self-defense, whereby you've got to be really skillful to beat most people. Yeah, if you're say a woman who just does woman's self-defense, and you don't particularly train, you're not that strong, your options of beating people who actually attack you are very limited. Yeah, so you're going to have to increase your training, increase your skill level, increase your accuracy. There's just so many, lose weight. There's just so many different aspects of this discussion. But all I'm saying to you guys is, hopefully all of you have thought about it anyway. But for the young ones out there or whatever, there's people who do martial arts and they haven't thought about it or whatever. Just look, we've all been there at times where you think you're just the best. Yeah. But look, thinking you're the best, really in real life, it's only going to get you killed or damaged or whatever. Yeah. You've got to have a thought of, if I face the nastiest version of myself tomorrow, am I going to beat them? Yeah? Or even more than myself? Because trust me, guys, I know from my job role, whilst you're walking the streets safe and you're in your home safe, there are people roided up in prison who are exercising every day, who live in a very harsh environment, of kill or be killed, survival of the fittest, criminals, which in effect is very effective training at making them hard, tough, and difficult to deal with people who don't have a lot of mercy and will shoot you and will gun you down and will come into your home and will break into your home and etc., etc. And that's where the whole martial artsy fantasy realm needs to go away and collapse. And people need to realize that, it's a tough, hard, horrible world out there. To some extent, it's also a beautiful world, but there's a lot of dark forces out there. And like the old saying, there's a poster, there's like this famous poster with prisoners on it. It always circulates within police circles, and it's like, go to the gym because you best train, because those guys are in there training every day, and they get out, boom, yeah. And just before I go, a lot of them come out of prison or come out of detention or whatever you want to call it. And I'm not solely focusing on them, but I'm just using it as an example for you guys. But a lot of these people come out of detention, and when they first come out, they're quite formidable, and then they get back into their old habits and drugs and stuff, and they teeter off down, and they almost destroy themselves, yeah, which is a whole nother topic of destroying yourself. Look what happened to sort of poor John Jones. As a microcosm, being a UFC fighter, everyone was like, he's the mess, and then he had a few habits that sort of took him down. Yeah, so there we go. There's another little example, but I'm not chipping away at him. I was just using him as a little example, as a fact of what happened. But yeah, what I want to finish on is that these people. You may encounter them, although they tend to sometimes destroy themselves. You may encounter them when they're fresh. They've just come out of prison. They've freaking been training every day for a couple of years. They're quite sharp. They're quite on point. And that might be the day when they encounter you and they decide to rob you, take your wallet, try and attack your family, and try and attack me, try and attack my family. Maybe I need to put them back where they came from, because I deal with these people all the time. So that's what I'm saying to you is just give it a think. Yeah, I know I've sort of started on something and then trailed off, or trailed onto a sort of another topic. That's always what happens when I talk. But and I'm sure I'm not telling you guys to suck eggs, but I'm sure you'll agree that the people who follow my channel and listen up. I'm sure you'll agree that there's a broad spectrum of people out there who need a bit of a reality check when it comes to martial arts, ego fighting, the difference between sport and real, the difference between the streets and the ring. So yeah. Anyway, guys, look, thanks for following the channel. Please like and subscribe if anyone's still listening to this. Be safe out there, and finally, good training. All right.